Alright, so today we'll be talking about question 287, find the duplicate number. Um, I guess it's just sort of like the reverse version of the problems that I have been doing. This one, obviously, it's a little bit backward, I guess, in a sense where we now want to find the missing, I guess, the duplicate number as opposed to the missing numbers. Since there's only one repeated numbers, as is in the guarantee here, we can have, like, I guess, quote unquote early return, without having to sort everything first and then figuring out the answer like afterward. Um, so you must solve the problem without modifying the array nums and uses only constant space. Um, so basically, we're going to do the same thing, a while loop for everything. So we're gonna have our iterator initialized outside of the for loop. We're gonna have our while loop here, and so we're going to check like if nums I doesn't equal to I plus 1. So basically, since it's inclusive from I to n, 1 to n, sorry, we want 1 in the first index and then 2 would be the second one and so on, right? So if we're at index 0 and we want 1, we want to compare index 0 to like the number ahead of it by 1, right? And so if it's not that, then we probably need to make the swap. And so here we're going to basically be like, hey, we do need to swap this, right? Because at the number that's currently at this index is not in the right place, so we need to do a like cyclic sort. So we're going to do a j equals nums I minus 1. So so basically with this, we're checking, we're getting the index where this number does belong, right? And so if nums I is equal to nums j, then that means the number is already, like, the number that we're looking at right now is already in the place where it belongs. So if we go through this one, we would have 1 and then like we keep it there, right? And so 3, this isn't the right place, so we would have just left it alone. It's part of the else statement here. Actually, I'll just write it now. So else here we have a I plus equals 1, right? Basically, if it's already in the right place, we don't need to do anything. We're just going to increment it, our iterator by 1, and we're just going to move on with life. So we're going to ignore this and we look at the 3. I guess it's not even in the right place or not. It's like this isn't even in the right place, right? So here we look at this. This isn't in the right place. This isn't in the right place. This isn't in the right place either. But so basically here, if these, oh sorry, we're not gonna ignore it, but okay. Okay, gonna reverse a little bit. Basically, if it's not at the right place, we're gonna have an else statement down here too. But basically, if it's not in the right place, we're going to just make a swap. Yeah, so we're just gonna make a cyclic sort for the swap. I don't know, it says we must solve it without modifying the array, but I'm pretty sure this is modifying the array, right? So not sure exactly, but this solution does work. Like if you submit it, it does work. So I don't know, guess it's kind of weird, I guess. But yeah, so basically if it's not in the right place, we're gonna hit a swap, right? So this 3 belongs here, and then we're gonna swap it. And then the 4 we're gonna later on figure out, because we're still gonna be at this one. 4 is gonna swap here, so So we get the 2, and this looks right, and then 3, 4 looks right until we get the 2, and we're going to find out, right? So basically, the 2's are going to be in the right place. Well, like, there's going to be a 2 here, and we're going to be at this 2, and be like, hey, we have the same number. So that's how we can return this. It was a little bit confusing, but I'll just run through like an example, like run through with this one. And yeah, and I'm just gonna return -1 at the very outside of everything, because if for some reason that they give a test case, which they shouldn't, by the way, but if for some reason they do give a test case where it doesn't fill, like doesn't have a duplicate number, then that will cover it, right? So we're going to look at this question. Whoops. Going to look at this question here. And so basically, when I equals 0, we look at nums I is equal to 1, right? And then it is that, so we can just go on, and we'll be at I equals 2. Oh, 1. I equals 1. And I equals 1, we look here, 3 doesn't, it goes into this first block, right? Actually, wait here, let me. Nums I is equal to 3. And so it's not equal to 2. So we come here, and then 3 minus 1 is 2. So we look at the second index, 0, 1, 2. Look at this, and they're not equal, so we hit a swap. So our thing will look like, our nums will look like 1, 4, 3, 2, 2, right? And now we're not going to increment I, because we go here and then we just go on again. So now we look at nums I, which now equals to 4. And then same thing happens, we look at the 4th index here, or like the 3rd index, 0, 1, 2, 3. So the 3rd one here. And then we look, hey, it's not the right one. So now the nums will equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Right. And now we look at the same one again. This now equals to 2. And now this is in the right place, right? So you're going to move on. I is equal to 2, nums I is equal to 3. It's in the right place. We're going to move on again. Nums I is equal to 4. It's in the right place again. Right in the right place again. I is equal to 4. Nums I is equal to 2. Now this is the escape condition, right? Because it's not equal to the thing. Now we look here, 2 minus 1 is 1. And now we look in this index, and it's like, hey, it's the same number. So that's how we know that's the duplicate, right? So that's how you would run through it with this code. If we submit, it works. Wow, surprising. Well, all right, that's the question for today. Thank you for coming, and see ya.